Delete.
Hello, welcome to Fast Reviews, the show where I go and snap back to 3 to 5 minutes about a TV show, movie, or video game. Today we're talking about the finale of Series 10 of Doctor Who, The Doctor Falls. Let's get into it. This episode is truly it's amazing in every way. There's literally nothing wrong with it. There's a few minor errors and minor just awkward moments within it, but there's very little wrong with it that I could really point out. And it contains these guys who you should know from literally every episode of this are literally my favourite enemies. I've been hyping up the Mondasian Cybermen coming back since the start of the series, since the trailer. And, you know, last episode I was talking about how I'm really excited for Cyberdyne to get back. And I'm going to go into a bit of spoiler territory just to talk about a few key things. I'm mostly going to talk about the things that went wrong this episode, because I'd rather say that this is the greatest episode ever, and I'm going to straight up just say I was right to save the 10 from last week. It is a 10. This is a 10 out of 10 episode. It's literally perfect. But there are some certain things that I think aren't quite right, though I don't care. I think they're perfectly fine being used. So I'm just going to put this down, and then we're going to discuss what I would have done to make it better. So as previously discussed in the last episode, we had not only the Mondasian Cyberman, but the Cyberdyne Cybermen, and the is it Skin of Steel episode Cybermen, the newest version. I'd like to say that they should have also included these Cybermen. I believe they are still Mondasian, though I'm not 100% on that. These guys are my favourite ones, other than the Cyberdyne versions, and I think that they could have had them because they look different enough from the other three that they already had. I think that it would have been so easy just to have a fourth type of Cyberman, just to spice it up a bit more, and it would make people like me so much happier. I think I did say something about these guys in the last episode, so I'm not going to go any further into that, but yeah, they should have included more Cybermen. And also something that I think they missed out on, they used these like Scarecrow Cybermen towards the start of the episode. I think that they would have done a much better job if they'd done, I believe it's Cyber Sheiks. I may be getting that wrong. It's the woolly things that are based off dogs. They would have been so much better, as well as the little metal like slug bug things. I'm struggling to remember the actual names. They're all just Cybermen to me. But the little, like, beetle things, the cyber beetle things, they would have been a lot better rather than just having the, like, white clothed, like, hospital patient Scarecrow characters, which they ended up having. So, yeah, just more variety was needed, I'd say. Something else I'd just like to nitpick is the fact that the Master killed the Master, or rather, Missy killed the Master, then the Master killed Missy for killing him. So yeah, that's very confusing. It's even more confusing if you haven't been watching the series up until now. It is so weird to think about, and yeah, I was really hoping that it would end with like a post, credits, I guess, like mini scene of Missy starting to glow, to say, oh, she could regenerate, but we don't know yet. But I've got a feeling we will find out that she has regenerated, or she will be turned into a Cyberwoman. Which, that would be brilliant, and I would love to see a cyber version of the Master, but that's probably not going to happen, let's be honest. But, yeah, that's just what I would have changed. I just made it so that there was some hope that the Master or Missy would return, and increase the types of Cybermen, because I think that was something that was really lacking to it was a primarily cyber-themed episode. I would also say Nardole seriously needed to be a bit more funny. He went from being a really funny character in previous episodes, which I know annoyed some people, I didn't mind it. But then suddenly he's just very serious. I don't know why they've used a comedy actor to do a serious part towards the end of the series, but once again, nitpicking. I love this episode. It's the best episode of Doctor Who. I know Fun Reviews has made a statement about it being like almost better than Series 4. Series 4 for me was very weak, so I'd say it is probably better, but I'm going to say a more solid statement of it's as good as Series 3. And that is really saying something. Because that contained the Battle of Canary Wharf, which, if you don't know, is the greatest battle that has ever been in Doctor Who. Maybe beaten by the Time War, but let's just say it is the best battle. Cybermen vs Daleks. But yeah, that's a different episode for a different day. But yeah, I would definitely say it definitely falls into that category of being just up there with the top episodes that contain Cybermen. Probably just the top episodes generally. I loved it. There was quite a lot of references to previous Cyberman battles. They mentioned Mondas, they mentioned Talos, they mentioned Planet 14, I believe. He also mentioned Canary Wharf, and yeah, I love this episode. It's just such a good episode. I couldn't ask for a better episode. It's the best episode. It's such a good finale. Cybermen, I love them. I tweeted out earlier, or yesterday, about how much I love this episode because of the Cybermen. I literally put, I can put this in 3 words. Cybermen are amazing. It is such a, I love this episode. It's like, I didn't think it would be as good. When I said I'm saving the 10 out of 10 for the next episode, I was sincerely thinking, I'll just do 9.5 again because it'll be the same. Or worse. But I weren't expecting to actually be saying, yeah, 10 out of 10. It is seriously just a perfect episode. And so far, all that I've seen is people agreeing with me that it is literally just a perfect finale to the series. And I personally cannot wait the few months that it is. Well, it's not even a few months, it's quite a while. Until, the Christmas special. I'm looking forward to it so much. It's going to have the first Doctor, which, that's great. I also love the symmetry between this episode being the last of the 12th Doctor, along with it also being very similar to the ending of the first Doctor, and that's the whole reason why the Christmas special is going to contain both of them. It's basically combining the fact that they both die to Mondasian Cybermen, essentially. It can be argued that the first Doctor doesn't, but that's another video completely. Watch this episode. I don't care if you've not watched any other episode, just watch this one. Maybe watch the previous episode, but you really just, anybody that watches this video, please just watch this episode. It is so good. I will link the actual episode on the BBC iPlayer in the description. Just go watch it, please, I beg you. It is so good, and I need as many people as it's physically possible to see this episode and just understand how good it is. That's it for this video. If you liked it, like it, subscribe if you're new around here. I do videos like this every single Monday, and if you subscribe, you'll see them weekly on the homepage. I just did IBX Toy Cat's outro for some reason. I don't know. I really like this episode. I've watched it twice. I might watch it a 3rd time. It is so good. And yeah. The Master's great as well. I'm just going to make that point. The Master and Missy were great in this episode. But yeah, that's it for this video. Bye. I don't wanna know
no. Taking you home, I'm loving you so. The way I used to love you, no.